Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we're here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Heal Yourself podcast. And today you got Kira and Denise, and we're talking about comparisonitis, which I guess builds on last week's episode, right?
They're all building on each other.
They are kind of building.
We mentioned it. We mentioned in the episode that we're going to talk about it. So, but first tell us, Kira, what is comparisonitis?
I mean, it's basically comparing yourself to someone else, but like getting stuck in that loop, right? Of like, I'm comparing my finances to this person's, but then it usually spirals. It's not just comparing yourself to one thing. Like in the business space, right? Like when you and I were running our programs together, we would compare ourselves to others in the industry who were doing the same thing, and how are they so successful, and how are they making this money, and how are they bringing people in. So it's kind of getting in a spiral. It's not a one-time comparison. It's like it's like a sickness.
It's a sickness. That's why it's an itis, right? It's a disease.
Oh my God.
And if you have the disease, there's no pill for it, other than the inner work. So, I mean, I'm going to also say that sometimes it is healthy. It could be, the comparison could be healthy if you use it as an inspiration.
Yeah.
But if you use the comparison to beat yourself up and to berate yourself and talk negatively about yourself, like for example, if let's say a business, right? So you look at someone's business and you start saying, what is wrong with me? Like, why is my business this and this? This is the comparisonitis. But if you look at somebody's business and you say, hey, wait a minute, if that person can do it, I can too. And then you get inspired, then this is an inspiration, not a comparison. You kind of looked first, but you didn't judge. You used it as a motivator for yourself. So this work, it can be healthy, but you got to watch out from
the judgment piece. I think that's like the key distinguishing factor of like, as soon as you get into the judgment, and I think you also have to understand it's about you. You know what I mean? You can compare yourself to someone else, but you don't even know the whole freaking story. You are just creating your own stories about this situation now. And we'll use business again, but it can be health, right? You can look on social media and be like, look at all these people who have healed themselves from diseases and who now do XYZ. You don't know the whole picture. And it's also about you. You're telling yourself a story that I'm not good enough. I'm not where I should be. No one is where they want to be, ever, because there's always more to do.
And a lot of the times, most of the time, we don't know their backstory, the people that we're judging.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what's behind it. We don't know their history, their access to resources, their finances, their whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we really can't. That is a losing game. Comparing is a very losing game, that it's only bringing you heartache and bringing you just not healing, because there's no way you can't. Like one sometimes told me a while back that we can both, you and I, Kira, be traveling to the same destination, right? We're both, let's say, going to LA, right? But with me, it's only a 2-hour drive. So I can get there before you. And then for you, it is going to be, you have to get on the airplane and it's going to be longer. You may arrive the next day, etc. So that's why we can't really compare the journeys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is really such a loop and spiral that you can get into And especially with social media right now, especially with
That's
social
what I
media.
was gonna say. I feel like compared to 15, 20 years ago, it's a whole different ballgame. Like if I, yeah, yes, you could compare yourself, right? Like I'll take myself back to like my teenage years. Of course, I compared myself to others in school. Like you're going through that maturity piece of like trying to find yourself. Am I good enough? Do I look like them? But it was just localized, right? You could go home and then it's like, oh, the comparisonitis kind of stops because you're not in the situation. Social media is just everything. Like you scroll on Instagram and you're comparing how you look to others. And then, oh, well, I'm running a business. So now I'm going to compare my business. And then, oh, wait, I saw this on Facebook and look how pretty their art is compared to mine. Like it's never ending judgment.
Right. And a lot of the times people are only portraying their happy moments, their
Mhm.
peaks. You know, they're not talking about the behind the scenes, about the sacrifices that they went through or whatever they did to get there or to go on this vacation or to have this beautiful relationship or this beautiful family or whatever it is, right? So it's really important to and it's this is awareness, you know, like just because we all do it, you know, we do it. Once you look at social media or once you look at other people, you are going to possibly start comparing or for sure start comparing. But
Yeah.
it's just that awareness piece and saying instead of using it as a tool for a negative outcome where you are beating yourself up and dragging yourself down, you're using it as a tool. Well, this is what's available for me.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I,
like if it is a relationship or health or business, this is available for me because if that person
mhm,
can do it or this group of people can do it, for sure I can. What do I need to do or who do I need to be to get there?
yeah. And you can flip it, right? We talk about this all the time that everything's a story, everything's interpretation. Change your interpretation, right? It is a normal human experience to judge ourselves and to compare our journey to others, right? However, we don't have to stay stuck in that. We can turn it from like, why does she have that and I don't, to, okay, what is it that I want for myself and how can I get there? How do I step into the identity of the person that has that versus sitting here, basically sitting in victim mentality again of, oh, I don't have that. It's going to take me so long to get there. When we can redirect that comparisonitis, make that illness become information about your own desires, great. Like that's where we want to be. So it's not just stop comparing because it's never going to happen. Like that is just a normal human, I'm not going to call it
Right.
emotion, but an
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, you can be collecting data, you know,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like if you're looking at somebody and you are starting to compare or to become envious, always look within.
Yep.
Why? What is showing up within? And then use that as your motivation and how you can improve whatever you're looking at because we don't know what you're comparing to, but we all are. We all are. You,
Mm-hmm.
Kira, you do it, I do it all the time. You know, you could be looking at like anything and be like, why is their life like this and my life isn't? But
Yeah.
you don't know what took of them for them to get here, and also you don't know what still is going on behind the scenes because I really used to feel that you know, a lot of, because, you know, I follow a lot of business and I would be, oh, you know, once you are a successful business owner, there's some things that go away, like whether it's anxiety or the fear or
Nope.
the discomfort. And it doesn't
Nope.
because I consider myself right now a successful
Mm-hmm.
business owner because my speech business is doing really well. However, those feelings did not go away. I still have the fears. I still have the discomfort. Now, do they last long like they used to? Not really. I completely step into my identity and, you know, how could I deal with this or talk to myself or whatever? But they don't go away. The fears don't go away. They're still there. It's just their voices are way lower than your desire.
Yeah. And I think kind of piggybacking on what you said, use these as a stepping stone, right? Yes, create the awareness. Okay, why am I doing this? What do I desire for myself? But then, as you've said, and we talk about in our course, what's that 1% shift? Okay, so I desire this thing. What's one thing I can do? Don't just tell yourself, oh, I desire this thing. We don't just sit on the couch and manifest things, right? Like you actually have to do something. You're comparing your health to someone's. Okay, what's one thing you can do today to improve upon your health? Maybe it's to go drink a freaking glass of water, as simple as that is. If it's your business, as Denise gets a drink of water, maybe it's something in your business. Okay, well, instead of here, sitting here scrolling on social media and wallowing in my sorrows because these people are doing well, is that serving you? Like, is that building your business? What's one thing you can go do that? So I think it's a stepping stone, right? Okay, I compared, shoot, this is what I desire. Great. Now, what's that one thing I can do to take action?
Yes, and I want to add that sometimes what we do in order to justify why we're where we are, we start giving excuses. Oh, well,
Circumstances.
yeah, they
Yes.
have this health because they're so healthy because they attended this seminar and they have so much money that blah, blah, blah. Or she has this business because this. No, don't give excuses because you really, truly, truly, truly
Hmm.
don't know. No matter how much you think you know the person, you still don't know. So instead of exactly sitting down and justifying why that person has what you want, look within and see what is that 1%, what is that one thing that I need to do in
Yeah.
order to, yeah, exactly. It doesn't, and I know we're going to talk about it next week. I know that we said that we are. It's just you got to take that action, and the act that clarity comes from the action, and then it just starts that momentum, right? Exactly. You can't manifest sitting on the couch. You can't manifest just saying the affirmations. You can't manifest just by watching, inspiration videos or podcasts because they just remain that, right? You can read a book, but if you're not implementing what's in the book, you're not moving the needle, right? So instead of dwelling and comparing and justifying why these people are better than you, do something about it.
Yeah. And I also want to add something basically on the flip side. We were talking about me spending more time being comfortable with the uncomfortableness of being less busy, if that makes sense. Do you like how I worded that?
I
Uh,
love how you worded that.
um, but you mentioned something of like someone listening might be like, oh, wow, like first world problems. But I think people can compare in that regard too. So not just, oh, I desire this thing, but it almost turns into a comparing and then judging of like, who are they to say that that's a problem when I have XYZ? You don't know their story. So I think that's really important. We can compare in two different ways. That comparison turns into judgment, but in some instances, it turns towards resentment or almost in the sense of, well, I'm comparing, I'm still, I got the disease, the comparisonitis disease, but now I am making myself better than them because who are they to have this problem? Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. And then you start resenting them
Uh-huh.
and you start saying negative things about them.
And that does not serve you
And
either.
that's what, exactly. And that's what we see in the comments when
Hmm.
we are looking at, like whether it's an influencer or a successful business owner or somebody who is successful in their relationship or in their children or whatever, you see all of those negative comments from these people that one, they don't even know them. And then
Exactly.
two, they're probably also justifying their own misery. I don't want to kind of like, be harsh about it, but yeah, it is. When you are dwelling
Sometimes,
and you are
yeah.
negatively talking about somebody that you don't even know, like just shut up. Like this is definitely coming from a place of despair and misery.
Hmm.
Instead of doing that, like sure, maybe no, nothing. There's no justification. Do
There
something
isn't.
about it. Do
Yeah.
that 1%. That doesn't give you, if you're not where you want to be, and it doesn't give us, whoever, not just you, like if
Yeah.
we are not where we want to be, don't berate somebody else or resent them for what they have because you truly don't know what they went through, right? So
And
it,
it's
and
not serving
again,
you.
It
That's
isn't.
the piece that people don't get. It's like, oh, it doesn't hurt anybody for me to feel like their problems are minuscule or to get on social media because they have a large following and to say these things. It absolutely hurts you. So for people that feel like, oh, it's not a big deal, it is. It's coming back on you. It really is. It's stealing from your energy, your power. It's not worth it. We don't know someone else's full story. So just let it go. Just focus on you. Goes back to our
Absolutely.
episode from a few times ago. You're not that important.
Right, exactly. Not that important. Focus on you. And if you focus on you as much as you focus on them, you know where you'll be.
Yeah.
If you don't waste your time and your energy focusing on others, again, get inspired. We're not telling you not to get inspired, but don't focus too much on them. And again, sometimes what works for others may not work for you. So don't just always follow the herd. And I am very, very, I want to kind of like call myself out on it because I sometimes in business recently, I switched platforms that I used called an EMR to, submit claims and stuff like that because everybody else was talking about this one. The other one I was using was one cheaper and then two was working. Sure, it had glitches and I thought, oh, everybody else and their mother is using this one, then it must be great. It also has its glitches.
Hmm.
And I'm facing the same glitches as I did with the other one, and now I'm paying double.
Mm.
So I'm paying double to
Yep.
have the same glitches.
I can relate.
So
Remember, I moved to Kajabi and I'm like, everybody kept telling me how amazing Kajabi was. It was not for me. I was not at the right place of the business. I couldn't even justify it. So yeah, we mute our own intuition and we listen to others. We compare to others. Oh, well, it must be better because they said so. Yeah, and that's like a different conversation, but it still ties in with this.
absolutely, absolutely. And then just learn from it, because right now I'm like, I'm not going to go back because the migration and the transition, I don't know
Yeah.
how it is with you, but with us and with client files and claims and
Hmm.
stuff like that, it's really a pain. So I'm sticking with this one. And it is user friendly, I get it. It has more features. I have to say that it does. So I'm just finding good ways about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to switch. I truly didn't because I mean, yeah. So the grass is not greener on the other side. We think it is. There could be turf.
It could be turf. There could be a lot of things living in there.
Yeah.
It's never greener on the other side. And that's the thing. We compare, but what are we comparing to? Because, like you said, we never fully know someone else's story. Like, even look at our kids, look at our spouses, look at our best friends. We are not living in their body with their spirit. We do not know the emotions, the thoughts, the beliefs, and all the things that run through them. So we
And we didn't
cannot
live their
compare.
and we didn't live their childhood. So no matter
That's
how much I know you, Kira, and you tell
mhm,
me the stories, I'm not in your like, okay, I can put myself in your shoes, try, but I
no.
cannot be in your shoes because I don't
Yeah, you
know
didn't
what it
live
is.
every experience in the last 44 years. Like I said, even with kids, do I know my son? Yes, but he doesn't share every fear. I don't know every emotion he has and how he's going to respond to everything. So we compare, but if you think about it, it is the dumbest thing ever. It's like comparing an apple to a shoe. Like they are so far removed from one another, it makes no sense. And so, we're talking about healing on this podcast. You can't heal if you're continuously
Ab-
comparing. And it's funny because
Absolutely
I
not.
needed this reminder too.
Absolutely not. I do too. And a
Yeah.
lot of the times, like I love how you and I talk about these things. 'Cause a lot of the times it is reminders for us. Yes, we've been through the healing journey and
But
we've
we're
been on it.
human.
Exactly. I was listening to, I don't know if you know her, but Dr. Shefali wrote so many books about conscious parenting, and she was on a podcast yesterday. I knew about Dr. Shefali since my son was little. Like she's been writing books for a while, but then she was on a recent podcast because she wrote new books, and now her daughter is 23. At the time, her daughter was little. And she even said yesterday on the podcast that sometimes her daughter tells her, well, I cannot believe that Dr. Shafali is acting this way and saying these things to me. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm still a human. I'm not. always, the conscious, parent or whatever. I
Yeah.
think I don't know if she has a doctorate in something, but yeah, she's written and talks a lot about conscious parenting. And I remember sometimes Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, like his kids used to tease him, I can't believe Dr. Wayne Dyer is saying something like that, because, they preach differently. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, whoever you are, you're still a human being and you still come with your own baggage and you still are going to mess up. But it is how fast you get up from that mess up and how much you allow it to rule your
Yeah.
life. So, yeah,
And also where you're willing to go, right? So many people are not willing to even have this conversation. No, I won't own that I compare. Whether it's, comparing to something else or comparing to judge that my life is better. I need to justify that my life looks better than yours. Um, so many people won't go there. So many people won't go to any of these places that we talk about on the podcast. But I will always go back to what my spiritual mentor has said. He signed off every call. The world needs you. And it is so true. Just look around. Look around at the chaos. Look around at the trolls on social media. Look, you know what I mean? Look at everyone who gets into judgment, comparisonitis. The more we work on ourselves and showing up as the authentic, loving versions of ourselves, the more the world is going to shift. So please do the work.
yeah. And there's no working around it. It is you gotta do the work because it's if you want to heal, you
Yeah.
gotta do that uncomfortable work. And
And if you want the world to heal, it goes back to that. People always say, well, so much is wrong with the world. Well, it starts with you. Work on you. Don't compare to, half of society that's out there that you think is making the wrong decisions, voting the wrong way. Just focus on you.
absolutely focus on you. Get inspired, but focus on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Ding, ding, ding. I'm done.
we are done. And I think this just the takeaways are always
They're in the episode.
throughout the episode. So there isn't like one specific, I want to say giveaway.
No.
There isn't one specific giveaway, takeaway. The whole episode is a takeaway. And
And I have a
yeah.
mantra for today.
Ooh, what is it?
I'm exactly where my own story is.
I am exactly.
Where my own story is.
All right. I am exactly where my own story is. I need to write it down so I can
It's
remember.
a longer one. It's a unique
I
one,
know.
but it's you are.
You sure are.
That's your story because everything is a story. Everything's an interpretation. You're exactly where your story is. It has nothing to
Amen.
do with someone else.
Absolutely. All
Yep.
righty. You know the drill. If you're driving, do not close your eyes. But if you are not, please close your eyes. I recommend hand on your heart, the other one on your belly. We're doing the usual 4, 7, 8. And we are saying in our mind or out loud, I am exactly where my own story is. All right. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm exactly where my own story is. Again, one more round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm exactly where my own story is. Don't forget to check out our course.
Yes. You need help making that 1% shift. You want to take it a little deeper than the podcast goes with more actionable steps. It's $11, guys. It's in the show notes.
It is in the show notes and it's less than a coffee and a bagel.
Amen to that. All right, we'll see you on the next episode.